Proceedings of the funeral service of renowned photographer Peter Magubane. The procession is now leaving for Fourways Cemetery. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is standing by Nqobile to speak to Ubabu John Kani, who is calling for a veterans or a cultural recognition in terms of a grant even.
Yes, to do, and also, in fact, when we heard President Ramaphosa speaking, he also did highlight that people like Dr. Peter Magubane are the kind of people that deserved to be acknowledged, but also the real umkhonto. And that's exactly what Ubab John Kani was saying. Ubab John Kani, you're saying that there needs to be a way to recognize the work that was done by people that were in cultural form fighting against apartheid.
The struggle was sort of structured in many sort of ways. There was the political struggle that was led by O.R. Tambo, Thabo Mbeki, Paulo Jordan, and all abroad, trying to turn the opinions of decision makers in governments to not support the South African government apartheid, not to believe in the British and the American constructive engagement, not to believe in the South African apartheid government that they could reform apartheid. On one level, there was also the military structures of the MK, Umkhonto weSizwe. They were trained in various countries in Africa, whose idea was to come and take on the South African Defence Force. There was also the sports, arts and culture, where we managed to change the opinions. We spoke to the rugby players of Australia, of New Zealand, of England and Wales to isolate and boycott South Africa. We spoke to great musicians and concert. There were musicians led by people like U2, and they were saying, we won't play Sun City, because we exposed that Sun City was part of the bigger plan just to give a pseudo freedom to the people of this country. Within the arts, we also got very deep. We gave up a lot of work abroad. We wrote plays, people like Osipos Pamla, people like Maximela Manak, the writers who were doing the So when then that we decide that there's going to be a veterans league, a women's league, a teachers league, I want us also to remember that the cultural activists now who are at our ages, 70 and beyond, played a critical role in changing the mindset of the international community. There must be a way of looking after them without trying to create certain programs and projects. When people go to war, they come back and they get their veterans' little stipend that keeps them alive so they don't have to beg just to eat, just to survive.
And I suppose when you speak about this, you speak about the likes of Dr. Peter Magubane, who were in the front where they were able to take these pictures. Tell me about the picture that you spoke about, the one that kept you alive.
Peter Magubane did not only use the photograph in today's terms and social media as a tabloid photographer. He wanted to find the heart of our people's resistance, in the same time expose the evil and brutality of the apartheid regime. There's a picture where there's a boy who's just thrown a stone at the police van, and one soldier is about to shoot him. Peter steps in between the boy and the policeman and takes the picture. The cop was so angry you could see that he stopped. That photograph showed how that police was brutal in defending apartheid, but it also saved a life. It happened to me as well when I was arrested. Bundled into a car, I saw a flash, and the next thing, this photograph was in London. And the next thing, there were demonstrations all over the world, release John Kani, release Winston Johnner. Without that photograph, they wouldn't have known we've been detained. So we work with the photojournalists and also journalists within the struggle.
Thank you very much for your time, Dr. John Kani, for the work that Dr. Peter Magubane has done. Is the kind of work that John Kani is explaining to us how it has saved lives, but also has sort of given a window to what was happening in South Africa. And that's what the President was saying, that such work needs to be remembered, and that he agrees that a lot still yet needs to be done. And of course now we've seen a guard of honor that has honored him, taking him out of this hall, but also going into the grave site now. As the families go there, we understand not everyone can go, but some of those that are going to be going to Fourways for the last moment.
Nqobile Madlala, thank you.